You know how you're always wearing the light gray sweatpants?
Mm-hmm. I went with dark gray today.
Probably a better choice for what I'm about to bring up.
Because I had the light gray shirt.
Yeah, there you go. You know how when you're taking a piss and like you're done, but there's always some drops that come out when you put it back in? Mm-hmm. The other day I was wearing light gray sweatpants and put it back in, and it was like it was still peeing, essentially. So you ever do the thing where you go to the sink to wash your hands and then you just splash it all over yourself to make it look like you had a hand washing accident rather than a peeing your pants accident?
Nope, never done that.
Me neither.
Usually me, like, I'll pee and then, like, I think I'm done and then I'm about to, like, go back. I put it back away and I'm about to go to the sink, but then I realize, like, oh, there might be a little left. I just whip it back out into the sink and, like, get the last little drops out. And then I wash my hands.
I think you're trying to make a joke out of this, and it's very serious.
That's what I'm telling you, technique. It's all about technique, which I think is why you came to me, because I'm all about proper technique.
So there's never any issues with your gray pants and like a water spot.
Oh yeah, there's when you're wearing sweatpants, you're always going to have potentially seeable stains. But I'm just saying, when it comes to pissing, the second that I put it back up and I'm starting to walk and I feel like, oh, I don't think I got it, I just whip it right back into the sink. Like, okay, go, okay. Piddle out the last little bit.
Nice.
Shake it.
Definitely pee in the sink. I for sure pee in sinks.
I know you do. That's why I figured this could be an easy way to remedy your problem.
I think the problem that I'm mentioning, it's not like I face this problem all the time, but you're peeing and it's like, I don't know the angle it's at, but as soon as it changes the angle, it's like, oh wait, there was a little more. I
mean, they always say you're supposed to shake it out, but
yeah. Oh, I definitely shake it. I straight up, I'm like milking a snake. Literally. I get a jar and I shove its head onto the top.
There's a rule. You're not supposed to shake it that much, bro. I've been telling you. That's why it's all bruised.
I shake, yeah, it's bruised.
That's why it's all bruised up, dude. Yeah. I keep telling you, calm down on that, man.
You know those, it's like a paddle, and then it's got strings coming and two balls, and like you do this with it, and it...
Yeah, that little drum
That's
thing.
how I shake it. And the head beats around like those little balls.
Well, maybe this drink here will help your problem out right now. We're trying out a little product, our first product review for the channel, mud water. All right.
Yeah, you want to explain why we're drinking this? Because
I mean,
you told me and I'm not on board.
I think,
and here I am drinking it.
My biggest problem is if you have an advertisement on YouTube and I see it, I end up wanting to try it. And these guys put out some really good commercials on YouTube. Like, I was on coffee and I was addicted and I was jittery and all this. He like lists off like everything that's terrible about coffee. And I'm like, oh yeah, man, that happens to me too, obviously. And then he's just like, that's why I went this route.
It's such an old, tired, dumb advertising technique. It's like equivalent to the commercials that were on TV where like they would show like a black and white version of someone struggling with something and then their product comes in and it lights the way.
Can you not do dishes? And they're just breaking dishes. Yeah. Like, who does dishes just like that?
Shoving cups right up their ass. Yeah. It's not getting clean up there.
They just hire like the dumbest person ever. It's like, I don't know. Speaking of that, so and stupid advertisements, I get another one on YouTube of these dudes wearing T-shirts, and they got like baggy T-shirts on, and he's like, I used to like be insecure about my weight and all this stuff, and then I started getting these T-shirts, and everybody started giving me compliments. And
Dude.
the t-shirts are a little like they used to wear baggy shirts, and now they just wear like a shirt that is their size now or something.
I gotta tell you,
and I was like, oh my god, this is the dumbest.
I see that ad on TikTok all the time. And it always starts out the same. That it's like two guys sitting at a table eating lunch together, and the one guy's like, I'm so fat. And his friend's like, hey man, you're not fat. You just don't know how to buy the right shirt.
Yeah.
And it's like, well,
his buddy tells him what's up.
He's kind of chubby.
Yeah, he's a little fat.
It doesn't, it's nothing bad. Rather than say you have to buy this shirt, you could say like, it's fine. You're not like obese. It's whatever.
Put a bow on a turd. You're still a turd.
Okay, we're just mean.
But anyways,
I don't think you're this far yet, dude, but
you're down to the bottom.
It's much thicker at the bottom.
Oh no! I told you we didn't whip it enough, man.
I'm telling you, you can't dissolve what's in this cup.
Oh no! That's so terrible. Oh, I guess Brinley wants to be part of the show today. Brinley, say hi to the people. Look how big she's
just
getting.
Destroying the mic.
Look how big she's getting.
It's so loud. Yeah, your dog's huge.
She thinks she's a lap dog still.
Still a puppy.
Yeah, she's only 6 months old now.
Yeah. We're filming like back in the studio. You know what I mean?
We're done with the COVID quarantine month.
It's over. COVID took a month away from my life.
For real.
And I'm glad to be back on track. We got our little dude sipping water. We got our giant pup being a nuisance.
She's like, I think, I don't, when do they teeth? Has it already happened?
She's definitely already teethed. She has all of her teeth.
Well, you're just a little biter then.
Yeah. Puppies are bitey until you or another dog makes them stop.
No, don't get the microphone. No. Oh my God, I got to tell you the story about this homeless lady today. As I'm trying to get to the podcast on time for once. And I was pretty close. I was really close today.
I swear to God, every episode, every single episode, you say, I was going to be there on time, but this happened. At some point, you got to
It wasn't my fault.
You got to start taking ownership.
It wasn't my fault. I'm telling you. I needed to get gas, all right? Maybe that was my fault, all right? But I'm at the 7-Eleven on the way, and I'm putting gas in my truck, and a lady walks up to me with a cigarette in one hand and a garbage bag in the other hand, I'm assuming those were her possessions, all in one garbage bag. And she didn't look
minimalist, dude. That's the lifestyle.
Yeah, she took right after you. She walks up to me and she's like, "Can I get a ride?" And I was like, "No." Clearly no. And she's like, "It doesn't matter where you're going. I'll go with you and you can drop me off." And I was like, and the funny thing was, I'm at the 7-Eleven right next to my storage unit I use for eBay. And I'm like, I'm literally going to my storage unit next door, and then I'm going home 2 blocks away. I don't know. You can walk the same distance. And before she has a chance to even say anything, another dude rolls up on his bike with some shoes in his hands, and he's like, "Hey, anybody want some Skechers? New pair, brand new." And I'm like, "No, I don't need any Skechers either. Like, what is going on
What are
today?"
the odds that they're your size?
That should have been my first question. The 11s? All right, then we got to talk some business. What do you
They're
want?
9s, but I can cut the tips off. You just have your toes sticking out.
They're 9s, but we'll make it work.
They're 9s, but we'll cut your toes off.
Oh, you gonna be a 9 after today? So I'm so confused. Like, the people are just coming at me at 7-Eleven right now. And then what else is weird is the lady, as he rolled up, acted like she knew this dude. And then I'm like getting done with gas, and they just kind of walk off together. And I was just like, okay. And at this point, I'm like, well, I don't want to be a liar.
Well, hold on. Now I know where the Skechers came from.
So now I got a new pair of Skechers.
The Skechers came from the last person that they did this to.
Oh.
Girl gets in the car. She pulls out like
Oh, jeez.
she pulls out like a rusty needle, dude takes your shoes off you.
That's what I'm saying, man. I probably, for real.
Actually, you're not even wearing shoes.
They
took your shoes.
Be on the lookout for some Adidas down by the 7-Eleven. So at this point, I'm like, well, I definitely am not a liar. All right. So I'm going to the storage unit, which was not in the agenda originally. I was planning on coming here, but I already told her I made plans. So I drove right next door to the storage unit, parked the truck, and I'm looking in the rearview mirror, and she starts walking towards me, towards the truck. And I'm like, okay, luckily I'm parked next to 6 other people here, so she's just coming up to ask them for rides. And so she goes right up to the dang storage unit, the front of it, where all the cars are parked. And she doesn't talk to anybody, but at this point, I'm like, well, now I got to get out of the car because she's trying to see if I'm bluffing. You know what I mean? She walked over here to see if I was lying. So now I bring Brindley, the dog, out. And before I get to the door to enter my number, she's like, oh, puppy. She says something weird like, oh, that's who's getting the ride today or something like that. And I was like, yeah. And then Brindley gets close to her and tries to jump on her a little bit. And I was like, Brindley, don't jump. We're trying to teach her that. And then Brindley gets close to the lady's cigarette. And I was like, oh, Brindley, don't grab that. That's for sure. And the lady's like, oh, you want this? And starts putting the cigarette next to the dog's face. Oh, you want it? And I was like, I was really stunned at first. I was like, what is going on here?
Now Brindley's addicted to smoking.
Yeah, now she's got a smoking problem. And then the lady's like, where do you want it? Here, right here. And she puts it on the ground. And it was still like a half cigarette. Like it was still plenty, 3/4 a cigarette.
Oh, God.
She puts it on the ground. It's like, here you go. And I'm just like, what the fuck? You just tried to, you want my dog to eat your cigarette? And luckily, I've taught Brindley leave it. So I just said, leave it. And she, right when I say that, Brindley thinks she's like in trouble or something, you know. And it was such a weird route to get to your house today, man.
Listen, I need to call out 3 things about this story that are important. First off, while we're still on it, she puts a cigarette on the ground to give the cigarette to Brindley. And you just said, leave it. Was that the last of the interaction? Or did you go, what the fuck, lady?
She put it down and like, here you go. And then she just walks off. I'm not kidding, man. And
that lady was definitely on.
I'm like, leave it. And then I like start walking over to the door, like go in the storage unit. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I don't want to go to the storage unit right now.
Okay.
So at this point, I'm like, I don't really care if I lie to this lady, man. She's trying to give my dog a damn cigarette for no reason.
This brings me to the next thing, which is when you encountered her at the gas station, and this is going to harken back to what we've talked about before. Last time you had a weird instance at the gas station.
True.
You said, I don't want to give you a ride because I'm just going over to the storage unit right across the street.
Right. When
really you could have said, I don't want to give you a ride, and it could have been left there. You didn't have to bring up the storage unit.
You didn't know how pushy this lady was. Because I said no.
You're a fighter. You're not going to be pushed.
I said no twice. And at that point...
But after the third time, I got to lie.
After 2, I'm lying my ass out to get out of here. Whatever I got to say to get your ass away from me. Get your trash bag and your cigarette away from me.
So first off, you didn't have to lie at all. No. You could have just turned away from her at some point.
I totally analyzed that situation afterwards. Like, funny how I instinctively just said to lie. But at least, I was right next to the storage unit, and I was like looking at it almost. Okay. So it was like, I was almost maybe subliminally like, just your mind was telling you how to get out of this.
Here's the third point. After she fucked off, you said to yourself, well, now I got to go to the storage unit. So she doesn't think I'm a liar.
Because she walked in between the 7-Eleven and the storage unit.
Just drive away. So what?
I don't want my reputation down by the 7-Eleven to be a liar, okay?
You said, this is your fault. You're trying to blame it on this lady for being late. Everything you just said is a Dalton problem. You don't have to lie, one. And if you feel like you have to lie, you don't have to follow through with the lie.
What if I didn't lie and she would have tried to get in my truck or something? What would I, you know? What if the sketcher guy wouldn't have come up and saved the situation completely? Because I think he really saved. She probably would have kept on me. Luckily, the sketcher guy...
You would have showed up with that lady today if the sketcher guy didn't come.
She's in my truck right now. I haven't been able to get her out. Oh, man.
Oh,
People are crazy, man.
You're one of them.
Dude. Speaking of crazy people, my girlfriend got her car back. They found it.
Yay.
Literally, like... 2 days before the insurance company was going to cut the check already, they found it. And so now we're thinking, oh my God, like, we're going to have to keep this car and it's like, you know, shitty or something. And we go to the impound where they keep the stolen vehicles, which is a special impound down here in Denver for stolen vehicles.
And I bet it's full.
Massive. It's so full. You take a number from the thing. Like we got there right when it opened at 10. People started flooding in. It was full. You take a number, and then I think it's because of COVID or something, but they're like, we can only take one at a time. So I came with Tess to look at the car, but they only took Tess to look at it because they only had one person at a time because they have to drive you a couple miles down to the car. They put you in a car and they drive you to it. It's that far away.
Jeez.
Yeah, man. And she gets to the car. She films it so I get to see all this. And the front of the car, it's a white Nissan Rogue. And they spray painted the front bumper silver. It just looks like off-color weird now. You know what I mean? And
maybe they were trying to make it less identifiable.
Yeah, exactly. Like nobody's.
I don't know. Yeah,
this isn't that Nissan.
No, this one has a silver bumper.
Yeah, it's totally different. It had different license plates on it, and she opened the car and there's just trash everywhere. Like she keeps her car very nice. It's just shit everywhere. It smells like cigarettes, and like they left like there's this like briefcase in the back, which looked like they looked like they were construction workers or something. Like it had all these like receipts and work orders and shit in it. I didn't really get to take a good look at that, by the way. This is all from video, and I was kind of pissed off at Tess. I was like, you should have grabbed that case, and we could have like filmed a video or something. Like, what's all in this case? Or maybe like figured out who this person was.
Mystery box opening.
I know, I love mystery boxes, man. I just love the mystery. And but then she's like, they already have somebody in custody, so I'm just gonna leave this box here, and maybe that'll help the cops or something. Well, okay. But she opens up the...
They arrested someone?
Yeah.
Nice.
A lady. And I don't know. But she puts up the center console, and it's just like little tiny liquor bottles and then like white powder everywhere, which I don't think they were baking anything.
It could have been that disgusting ass mushroom stuff that we just put into these drinks. Yeah. Mushroom creamer.
They're just trying to get healthy.
Yeah.
And so there's shit everywhere, and we had another like 48 hours for somebody to come down and assess the car, and they assessed it and said those were definitely drugs, and they said there was a bunch of drugs underneath the seats that we didn't even see. So I'm like all pissed off, and I was like, fuck, you didn't even look under the seats? Dude,
we could have done a review video on like...
We could have had some meth or something we could have tried out.
Oh my God, that would have been a blast. Are you kidding me? Podcast all methed up.
Wired up. This is the 10-hour podcast.
Scooching, taking things apart.
We've been up for 3 days.
Oh, it could have been a challenge video too.
Yeah, dude.
No sleep 3-day meth challenge.
Oh
damn!
So yeah, man, they stole a car, do some drugs in it, dude. That's what they did.
Well, interestingly enough, I assume it smelled like cigarettes.
Yeah, she said it just reeked of cigarettes.
I imagine you're still gonna get that check.
Oh, I didn't even finish the story. After they assessed it, and they told us there was drugs under the seat and everything. They totally gave us a full price on the car. Like Tess, honestly, my girlfriend probably made out on the deal and probably got more for that car than she ever would have selling it.
Right.
By like, $3 or $4 grand or something, But it's still a super lame deal because now you got the hassle of finding a car now. Does she still get to keep the Rogue? Or did the insurance buy the Rogue with that check? When they total it, when they give you the check, then they get to keep it and they total it out or whatever they do, auction it off. Yeah. I imagine they total it since it has drugs in it, but I don't know. I would think that they probably have someone they work with who will just buy the cars off them cheap, and like that person can clean them to like no smoke smell and cigarette proof. I think so, man, but I feel like there's some liability there. Like if you bought an insurance totaled car, I mean, you'd have to get a whole new license for it or whatever. It would be like a salvage title at first. Right. You can buy salvage titles. Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not in that business. We could be. Imagine what we could find. We could find guns and drugs and like. Apparently, Denver, Lakewood, and Aurora, that little area there, is. When I looked it up, it was number 19 in the nation for car theft. Wow. And my girlfriend said she looked up some other stuff and it said it was way worse than that too, like top 10 stuff. So I was pretty surprised, man. The weirdest part about stealing a car is when you roll up to pick up your friends and they're like, "Oh, did you get a new car?" Either they know that you fucking steal cars or you're just lying to your friends like, "Oh yeah, I just bought it on Wednesday. Got a silver bumper, so I got a pretty good deal on it." I shall cut that out. There's a guy I know. I'm not gonna. I'll keep him, secret. But I know this person has like some financial problems, and I've seen them before, like wearing nice clothes, but there's a tag sticking out of the clothes. Yeah. And I'm just assuming that you're just gonna wear that for a couple of days and then take it back and then get something else or something. Oh, interesting. I was thinking more along the lines of like, how people used to keep the tags and stickers on their hat? Oh, no. This is like I think it's like that's the cool thing to do now. I think maybe like you're trying to look at my price tag, bro. Fuck yeah. Retail. I don't know about that, dude. Dude, that doesn't sound crazy to me. I would never do it, but it doesn't. I could see other people doing that shit. Should we get the whipper out and whip this up a little bit more? I finished mine. I drank the mud at the bottom. Oh my God. Dude, this is what I did. So I just mixed it. Chug, water. Oh, you did this with it? So it having new license plates on it, I was thinking like, okay, so what if you stole a white Nissan Rogue and then you drove until you saw another white Nissan Rogue and you quick swap the plates. Now they're looking for this white Nissan Rogue with plates. They pull over some random person and they arrest them for stealing a car. Yeah. And meanwhile, you're driving away scot-free. You could probably do that 2 or 3 times and over the course of a few days, right? It could be. I mean, that'd be interesting. I think eventually you're going to get caught. Personally, but I'm doing this as I'm driving to Mexico. I don't know if you're like planning out some theft right now or something. This is an escape plan for like something much more serious. This is me. Like they finally found the slide collection, and yes. I'm escaping to Mexico. I've been suspecting this for years now, by the way. And I don't know why. Because I saw your garage. And you had every little tool in a place with like, I don't know, you like a freaking like outline around it, maybe where it needed to go or something. Like, this is crazy, man. He like, I don't know, dude. You need to just put it in a toolbox, man. I don't know what is going on. Oh no.
That's what gave it away.
That was it, man. I was like,
I need to be a little
his
sloppier.
Tools are way too organized for any normal construction man or anything like, you know what I mean? No fucking construction worker is going to be this meticulous.
Well, no further comment in case this gets used against me one day.
If I don't make it past this
if
podcast,
I have to watch this part of the podcast while I'm on trial, I'm going to be upset.
I know you don't got Facebook right now, but I'm going to bring up
I'll never have Facebook.
I know, and I'm almost to the end too, man. I'm just like, I'm kind of to the point where the only people keeping Facebook anymore are just idiots. They like to post idiots shit and rile people up and talk shit and stuff. And the problem is I like talking shit though. And I'm like a little addicted to it, man. I think like, I just love to fucking talk shit.
You hate all the people doing exactly what you're doing. You would hate yourself if you were...
the reason I brought that up is... anyways, so the big story on Facebook right now, and you've probably heard it too, is a dude decided to get a sex change, and then he ended up winning the college NCAA swimming championships this year.
We're going down this road right now.
I know. I wanted to bring it up, man. I don't want to offend anybody, but it's so crazy the world we're living in. This guy was he was ranked in the U.S. NCAA men's college already in the top 400. Gets the sex change, or I don't even know the story if he got the sex change, man. But now he identifies as a woman, and then he wins the women's NCAAs, and
back-to-back championships, dude. Fuck yeah.
He didn't win what men's.
Oh, he didn't.
He was.
Well, right?
She, them was ranked 400 in men's, middle. Not even top. And then now,
what is NCAA? That's basketball.
NCAA is just means college wrestling, basically. Like
wrestling.
Sorry, not wrestling. Bye. College. This is for swimming. This specific story was a swimmer. She was she, them was a highly ranked swimmer. And the reason I bring it up though is like everybody's got an opinion on it right now, right? Like, I mean,
the smart ones don't. The smart ones don't have an opinion at all.
If you're on Facebook, it's a lot of trash talk, obviously.
All right.
There'll be one or two scattered people like, if you're making fun of a guy transitioning to the woman, all this, that says a lot about you, like shit like that. But I like reading the trash talk, man. Like there's like memes everywhere right now. Like, oh, you don't like that I won the championships? Then suck my dick. Or like, it was like, I got tired of hard mode, so I switched it to easy mode. Or, oh man, what was the other one? I can't remember the other one. But I'm just like, I don't know. I'm being as a bit of an athlete. I feel like I should feel bad for the ladies competing though, right? Because now there's also these other people that are like, they're posting the other chick that got second, and they're like, let's praise this chick. She's the one that actually got first instead of this dude trying to come in and steal it. And I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know how. I don't think it's fair. You can't take steroids, right? That's a performance enhancing drug, but they let the dude, go through puberty and get all this testosterone. He's 3 feet taller than all the other chicks on next to him. When you're looking at him and the other three that were, second, third, and fourth, he's like 2 feet taller. He's massive. He's like a huge dude. And I don't know, man. I think there's got to be maybe some sports that it doesn't matter, but if you're like, what if that was a fight, man? If that dude,
well, that has happened before. I know you know about that.
Which one? I don't know.
There was a UFC fighter who transitioned to female, and
UFC or just MMA?
I don't know. Maybe MMA.
Because I
don't know the difference.
UFC is like cream of the crop.
Oh, okay.
I think you're just
MMA.
a regular MMA organization. Yeah, I might have heard about them. I've probably seen some stories and stuff.
I think it's a interesting issue that will get resolved in time.
I mean, and there's people that are like praising the guy too, like saying that he's leading the way and like, you know.
You got to say she or them.
I don't know. What am I saying? Am I saying it wrong?
You keep saying guy.
Ah, man. He was a guy though.
Was is the word that you use.
But what if he still is?
You said was.
He's not. They show his picture like in the swimsuit, man, and there's like lump.
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. So I'm just supposed to say what they refer to themselves
You can
as?
just say they.
That's what I said.
They had a lump.
That's what I said, they. All right. I guess you don't have an opinion on that. I'll change this.
Here's the thing. I don't care
you're
at
not,
all.
You're not a sports guy, first of all.
Okay, we can start there then. I don't
you
care
don't even
about
care
sports,
at all.
period.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine caring about college sports. Like,
True.
Fucking children playing with a ball. Who cares? I really don't care.
I really do.
About what somebody like wants to call themselves or identify as or whatever. None of these issues are for me to figure out.
I'm on your end on that one. I don't give a shit. But it's weird when you want to steal glory from other people, though. Like this other chick worked her entire life.
Is every competition is you wanting to steal glory from someone else? You want to be first,
but
that's where the glory is.
But we also all want to do it on an even playing field.
Well,
I didn't come to compete with other dudes. I came to compete with other women because that's fair. That's why it's weird, man. I think I'm on the end where they shouldn't. You can call yourself whatever you want. You can transition and you can live your life, but I don't think it should be legal to compete in any division other than what you were born in originally.
I think eventually they will have rules for that,
right?
But they don't now, so people can
go crazy about
exploit or do whatever they want. So the other thing is that I imagine that from the way you told me the story, I have not heard about this story at all.
I didn't think you had.
I never heard about this story.
It's all over right now.
Yeah, then this is why I avoid Facebook.
Shit posting.
But I think that maybe the rule can't be what you were born in is what you have to compete. Because imagine someone like is deep into the process, right? They've been on hormone therapy for like years.
There's got to be some timeline restriction,
and
or something.
I don't know, like
I think
how that would ever get decided.
It would have to be just figuring out when puberty happens. Like we're gonna say everybody's average age is 10 years old or something. So
for puberty, I didn't get my first hair until I was like 17.
Well, think about women though. Some women have, transitioned that early.
I don't.
You probably haven't had much experience there.
I don't. What happens to them? I don't know anything.
The flower blooms.
Oh, that's when their penis balls drops. I don't know what's going on down there. If you're a woman, I have no idea. It could be anything. It could be another set of hands.
I think it's scary. It's frightening.
I think that this is like the first. To me, it sounds like the first big case, which is why everyone's talking about it.
Right. I think
this is how rules get put into effect. So, no matter what side of this you're on, there will be a resolution in the future. And it's not that
true.
For those listening who have a strong opinion, you don't need to. Okay, you're not the one who came in second place.
True.
It's totally fine to just let this shit play out, let the rules be added to the book, and not argue with people on Facebook.
And I'm pretty sure the chick that got second is getting probably easily more recognition for getting second to a man than she would have ever gotten for getting first without that guy there, which is interesting. She could become
that's probably true.
More famous for this than ever becoming a champion without this guy. So hopefully her career kicks off, even though she had this one bad tournament. she could still get all kinds of a whole career out of the whole thing. You know,
What is a swimming career? Is it just you get to go to Olympics every few years?
I'm saying, yeah, it depends on the person. It depends on if they're trying to go for a swimming Olympic career, or if they're just like, I don't know, a lower level coach or college.
They
career.
teach swim lessons in the Guttenberg pool.
The 2-year-olds learn how to swim. Blow your bubbles. I used to be an Olympic swimmer.
Until I came in second.
To a fucking dude. Oh my god. All right. Well, I don't know. I want to bring that up. It was a current issue. I'm trying to stay current with the times.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely a current. It's just so funny how someone who's not on Facebook hasn't heard about this at all.
You're
like Facebook
right
is
now.
Truly where
you're supposed to
the battlefield is.
Well,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
You need to re-download Facebook so that way you know what to be mad about. You have
I have Twitter for that, buddy.
You have no idea what to be mad about right now. We need to get this information in your head so you can just get pissed off and
it's super
argue with
nice
people.
not getting upset.
You know what my last Facebook argument was? I don't want to say it's an argument. I want to say they're debates, but I might have started it, so maybe it's an argument.
When you're in the middle of these and you're typing fast so you can get your point across first, does your heart race a little quicker?
I will say,
are you a bit addicted to the adrenaline?
I actually don't do that anymore. And I will say I've restricted myself so much on Facebook that it's literally like my morning poop in the morning. Like I take a poop, I'll check Facebook, whatever my notifications are, I'll reply to it, scroll through for a minute to see if there's anything that I need to maybe I need to put out or share or something. And that's it. Like I'm limiting it to my poop time in the morning. So I don't let myself get worked up like that anymore. But I've definitely been there where you're like, oh, I got to get this. And then I'll like delete it and put something back in, you know, like I redo it 14 times so it doesn't have any spelling errors because they're going to make fun of you for some spelling error.
Yeah.
Like, you idiot. But the last one was like some guy we went to high school with posting a Tesla caught on fire, which right now also on Facebook, which you don't realize, all the Republican people right now, I'll say, are like, gas prices are so crazy right now, and they're telling us we should go buy a $60,000 electric vehicle. What, you know, the government's so stupid kind of deal. That's their rhetoric right now. And then they're showing like, you know, like Tesla's flipped over and you know, this one coffin has like 4 paragraphs underneath it about how bad this fire was and how much water it took to put out and shit. And
well, lithium batteries are no joke, but I mean,
well, see, here's the thing.
Cars catch on fire.
Here's the thing.
When they get in accidents.
I'm like reading all this. I'm like this. And then I go like start searching like statistics on car fires and electric car fires. And like, there's like 500 people a year that die from regular car fires. And there's only like, there's only like 100, you know, Teslas that ever caught fire ever or something like that. It's like, and this dude's like from Iowa. So then I like started doing the math on it, and I'm like, you literally just posted this Tesla catching fire, and he's like a fireman, so he's like he's defending like, it's not about. He started calling me like a liberal, like it's not about, you know, Tesla and all this. I'm trying to like warn firemen about how to put these fires out, and I'm like, there's only going to be literally one Tesla in the next 10 years that's going to catch fire in the state of Iowa, and you're going to let us. Thank you for letting us know that information, bud. You know, I don't know.
If he's a fireman in Iowa, he's a volunteer fireman.
Yes, exactly. He's a volunteer fireman. I forgot to mention that.
He's a volunteer firefighter, and his post is as if he has some insider information. He's letting people know how to put out a lithium battery fire.
And the reason I brought that up is because him and I have had little debates on little politic things here and there, and he knows I'm an uber Tesla fan. So now I can definitely tell that he's starting to put some Tesla stupid shit on his page. So that's when I saw this, and I was like, oh my God, really, dude? Like, And I looked it up right away. Like, you should post like 500 people dying a year from regular cars and like 1 a year in electric vehicles. It's like
our next vehicle is electric.
I know, man. Tesla's looking for a car right now, and I'm all about this Cybertruck, but they haven't released it yet. It keeps getting pushed back.
I like the Rivian more than the Cybertruck now.
Well, the Rivian has the bells and whistles. I'll say that. However, it's not going to drive you
through the apocalypse.
It's not going to.
Well, it's not going to drive you through Cyber City. It's not going to drive you in the metaverse.
You can't just walk out your house and then click a button on your phone and it goes. It just goes to you right away. Right.
Right.
The self-driving's not there. They're cool. They got the bells and whistles, and it will be an electric vehicle. It's just I'm a Tesla fanboy. They understand that whoever can get this self-driving technology out first, who's going to compete with that, man? I mean,
I don't know.
It's not easy. It's not like anybody, Google and Amazon can do that. They're trying to get a car out there that can do it, but you have to gather information.
What do you think about? And I've only heard a little bit about this, but Tesla's refusal to use radar, and instead they opt for camera for their self-driving stuff.
How do I feel about it?
Yeah, from what I understand is most self-driving car companies who are looking into the technology
they're trying to use
using radar,
yeah.
Whereas Tesla is pretty adamant about using cameras.
The problem with radar, isn't that based also on previous data of the area? So they use the previous data of the area, and then they use their radar technology based on that data. So if that data is wrong, the radar is going to
you'll fall right into a hole.
That's what I'm saying. So you go ahead and fact check me, but I've looked a lot into this about how why Tesla's self-driving is better than others because of those cameras, because they're literally built to react to whatever is around them.
Yeah.
Whereas the radar, it's based on information they already have this backlog of information of the world, and then they use the radar based on that information. Mm. So I'm more for the cameras because I think if that information's fucked, eventually it'll be all right. Maybe they have satellites all over the world and they can update that information instantly eventually, and maybe the radar will be okay eventually. But I don't know.
Toyota released a lineup of electric vehicles, and that'll probably whatever their electric 4Runner is, that's probably what we're going to get.
Nice. Toyotas, they make good cars. I heard Volkswagen is trying to make this battery base, and then other companies are partnering with them, like Ford and oh man, I forgot what the other one was. 2 other companies are partnering with them to put their cars out, and they're going to basically take the battery base from the Volkswagen and put their model on top of the car. Mm. And I've heard a couple of different models going out in Europe and stuff, and eventually they'll be out in America, but I guess they're getting them in Europe first.
What else electric? I've seen the new Mustang. I've seen the electric Mustang out on the streets.
We're going that direction, man. I mean, I don't know how far down this rabbit hole you want to go, but I think we're in this 4th industrial revolution, and we're seeing the horse and buggy turn into the car over again. Where now it's the car, the internal combustion engine turning into the electric motor.
You know what's weird? They had an electric vehicle in the 80s or something? Maybe even
the first Ford Model T was electric.
Oh, really?
The very first model, I believe. Yeah, and then it went gas. I mean, there's a backstory on that too, man. Maybe oil got into it or something.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, oil gets into a lot. I know you're a conspiracy guy. What the fuck are you talking? You're the biggest conspiracy person that I know. You are Alex Jones.
Just because you don't believe that giants built the pyramids doesn't mean that I'm a conspiracy.
But apparently the oil companies, they buy up a lot of stuff I don't know if it was LA or San Francisco, but the city was working on making the public transportation really effective and better, and it was expensive. So the oil company said, "No worries, we'll buy it from you." And they immediately shut it down and just built highways.
Dude, have you heard about the guy that invented the car that ran on water, and he could go across the nation in like a couple of cups of water or something like that?
No.
And then you should look this guy up on YouTube. It's a very interesting conspiracy story because he's got the model of the car. He's got video evidence of all this shit.
Would it be distilled water?
Yeah, well, I'll watch it sometime, man. But he
on water.
I believe it has something to do with turning it into hydrogen, probably. You know what I mean?
Oh,
but
I guess I was. I was imagining
I'm
like a steam powered car.
I'm not 100% on it, but the crazy conspiracy is though he was eating with his family and mysteriously died as he was eating, and as he was like dying, he said they poisoned me. And then at the same time, everything was stolen from him. All of his work and all of his model and everything was gone.
Interesting.
And his brothers and everything, his family couldn't reproduce another car. I'll show you that story, man. It might be a conspiracy, but he's got...
It definitely... I mean, I can see, a company buying up the public transport so people would have to buy gas, but now we're talking about a company purposefully killing someone and stealing their stuff.
I mean, according to the brother, they said that oil companies and people were asking. I mean, at first it was like, "Can we buy this from you?" It was like nice, and then it started getting way worse and more harassing and mean.
I think it'd be interesting if, like, let's say, I've got to, I want to commit suicide. I would just come up with this crazy invention. I don't actually have any data or evidence, but I like make a convincing video and I poison myself. And I say they poisoned me.
That's pretty elaborate. I mean,
but people would talk about me forever.
They would.
There'd be YouTube videos.
That's true. I mean,
that's a legacy.
If I ever get cancer or something, we should devise some kind of like real.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Real weird story that people are going to.
I could definitely make you disappear, and like for years, I'd be like, "Where's Dalton?"
He invented the key to energy, like unlimited energy,
and just vaporized.
They got rid of him, dude. The fucking aliens, man. It wasn't even the government.
He invented a time travel device. Okay. I think what happened was when he got there, the machine wasn't there. So now he's stuck in the year 10,000 BC.
Dude, I've been watching TikTok time travel videos. Have you watched these?
Is this like the Harry Potter thing?
Dude, it's like Faces of Death or something, or like crazy things that happen that you're like, there's no way that could make any sense. Like for example, it was one where like this guy was closing up his shop and a dude starts walking by and taps him on the shoulder, and the guy like turns like this, but then the guy just keeps walking, and then this thing comes out of nowhere and swings at a car. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
And then the guy he's like, if he wouldn't have got his shoulder tapped and that one dude came back, he would have got hit by this fucking thing.
Yeah, that's a really old internet video.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
I've just watched that the other day. But there's like TikTok accounts dedicated to that now.
Right.
Like there's a whole list of them.
Yeah. You know what?
So time traveling is real.
This is the funniest part about TikTok for me, and almost annoying because I know that I could exploit it pretty easily.
I know, dude.
But
you know what I want to do? I want to make fucking scary videos.
Okay, so TikTok, it's like all these people, all these like Zoomers who didn't grow up with YouTube.
Or Vine, you know what I mean? Like they didn't have Vine, they didn't have YouTube.
So they haven't seen all these videos. So someone who has is just recycling, like, oh, this was popular on YouTube back in the day, but these dumbasses haven't seen this.
There's definitely new content too, but yeah, you see recycled stuff.
I see a lot of the shit. I'm like, I saw this 10 years ago.
When things were just going viral. But seriously, like, I think we could easily film some stupid little horror TikToks.
Yeah.
Like I keep watching the ones now where like it's like the little girl and she's like then on her bed, and then for a second you see like a head pop out and then go back in, like another head on the side of the kid, and then the guy walks over and there's no kid there, and then this is the daughter's like this, and he's like, Stacy, wake up, and she's just like this, the easy shit. Like I've got goosebumps already just from that, right?
Do you believe in ghosts?
They're obviously real. That's no is that really a belief thing? You haven't.
Okay, I feel like you're doing a bit.
You know what I heard the other day, man? Another TikTok.
Okay. Yeah. That's where Dalton's been getting.
There's a kid.
Dalton's only uses Facebook in the morning, and the rest of the day is now filled with TikTok.
TikTok's my new addiction. Fuck Facebook. But apparently, and I think this is actually a true story. It's a Guinness Book of World Records story. A child has the most memories from a previous life. How about that?
Okay. There is a Guinness World Record for most memories from your previous life.
Correct.
That's such
now,
bullshit.
Why is this crazy?
It's not.
This kid said he was a person in a previous life. Like he said he was, and he said he knew these people, and he said certain locations that he's been to, and he also would say weird things like I'd rather wear a suit, like a top suit or something, I can't remember the words they said, but specific suits and things like that. And then they found some old material of like movie stars from like the 20s, and this kid sees it and he's like, that was me. And then they start like seeing all these other things, like the people he mentioned, and they were these actors that this dude knew. And I don't know, just the location that this dude was at was the same location this kid was talking about. So like I don't know what to say, man. And then what else is weird too is the kid said, I died, and then I went to a place that was just all light, and I waited there. And then I found my mom, and I knew that was going to be my next mom, and I went to her.
Kids believe in Santa. You know what I mean?
Well,
kids are stupid.
But what if children are the closest connection to that next, or that other, or that whatever, the other? I'll tell you a true story, not TikTok. True story time.
Okay.
A lady I worked with at the pool in Guttenberg.
Yeah.
You can cut this out. Her last name.
I don't know that person.
Who cares? She had 3 little boys, and I think we were telling scary stories one time or something like that, or just telling stories. I don't know. Maybe talking about death or something. I don't know. Ghosts. And she said the scariest thing that she ever experienced was her youngest boy, a year, or her sister, aunt, I don't know, something like that, came over. And this had been a year after their uncle had died. Okay. And the aunt and the mom hear the boy talking in the other room. And then the boy comes to them, and he says something along the lines of, oh, happy anniversary, Auntie something or other. And the mom or nobody had mentioned this anniversary because the uncle had died. You know what I mean? And she's like, how did you know that? And she's like, oh, Uncle Buck told me or whatever. And so she thinks that the kid was talking to the fucking ghost of the uncle in the other room, and then came in and congratulated on the anniversary. And this is a true story. How do you explain that one, dude? I don't know.
I guess I can't.
I mean,
but it doesn't make me believe in ghosts or afterlife.
Who knows, dude?
You
don't believe in any afterlife. No reincarnation, nothing. We're done.
I don't know what happens. But the people who claim they know are usually trying to sell you something.
Okay.
So nobody knows. So
sure.
I don't know.
What was the lady at the pool trying to sell me?
On the idea that her son's a little ghost talking prophet. When in reality,
the son could remember anniversaries that were never mentioned.
Well, there was a show called Kids Say the Darndest Things, right?
Yeah.
And it was all about kids saying funny shit.
Yeah.
They also say crazy and stupid shit too. And sometimes they say scary shit. I think what
I don't commemorating an anniversary exactly a year to the weekend is a little
to the
weird.
weekend. So it wasn't the exact day, which is what I was going to bring up.
Weekend, yeah. I mean, it very well could. I haven't seen these people in years. It was just a story that really stuck with me, and the way she said the kid was saying some weird shit too, man. I can't remember what else the kid was saying, but that's what stuck to me.
Then put that little fucker down. He's got the devil in him.
Do you believe in possessions, man?
No.
I don't know if I believe in possessions. That's a little
I don't believe. I mean, I've never seen convincing evidence for ghosts.
I know every ghost. It's tough because when you watch a video, you could never believe it to be fully real with like video editing and everything.
Right.
I've definitely seen, like best ghost clips caught on tape kind of things.
Yeah.
Not. I'm not saying like we're going to the haunted house tonight and seeing if we see anything, and then we heard something. Oh my god! I did watch one of these like best ghost videos caught on tape or whatever, and the best one I ever witnessed was one that was like this castle in England, and they said that the security guards kept reporting that this door kept coming open, and they couldn't figure out why, and so they had cameras on it. And one of the cameras like sees the door come open, and then you see a figure come in, grab the doors, and shut it again, and that's all you see. And they're like, "That we didn't have anybody down there. We just have like this is like an old fucking castle. We're just watching over." That was the best one I swear I've ever seen. Where like it looked like a fucking ghostly figure goes in and like shuts the doors again. But who knows that it could be fucking somebody messing with the video. I don't know. It looked weird though. It didn't look like a human. It didn't look like there was much to him like below the waist almost. It was almost just like this on top kind of thing.
Interesting.
I don't know.
I'll have to see that video.
I can't say I've ever had any kind of paranormal experience.
I will definitely say that there have been times where I've been in a strange place or like alone in the woods and it's dark and I hear and see the craziest shit, but I would never like tout that as I saw a fucking ghost.
Right.
I am alone. I'm already scared, and your mind, like your brain, is programmed to assess, assume, and run from danger. That's how we evolved.
Yeah.
So that's what I think most of this shit is.
You just reminded me when I was in college, I worked at the casino, and I knew this group of people that started their own ghost hunting organization. And the one lady that ran it, she had all this different equipment and stuff, and audio equipment and video and stuff. And they would go find different like places that were supposedly haunted and stay there for the night and see if they can pick up anything. And as far as like pictures and stuff goes, she would show me like, look at this one. They'd be like, there's the orb. And it'd be like a light orb or something.
Unfocused dust that got caught in the flash.
Yeah. And I was like, okay. There's only one time she showed me something that really creeped me out, though. It's all audio. There's no video. But she explains it like they're going through a house, and then she says something like, they're like walking through this house like, who is anybody here, kind of thing. And she says she felt a cold chill, right? And then that was it. And then when she said she went and reviewed the video afterwards, she turned up the audio, and I heard the audio, and it sounds like a little girl saying, "Stop, I'll show you." It's fucking creepy as shit. I don't know. That as far as true stories go, I would say those are the two closest paranormal things that I've heard of from other people.
It'd be really interesting. I mean, there's plenty of like haunted places around here, right? The Stanley Hotel, for instance, is pretty close by. I drove past it one day. We could do our own paranormal research. You know what I mean?
We've had people asking us, like, you should do that, man.
Yeah. Like, there are a bunch of ghost towns. Yeah, someone commented, like, spend the night in a ghost town. There are ghost towns all over.
Yeah. I guess we could, man. I don't know. I don't want to mess with any ghosts.
So, see, now, when I first brought that up, you dismissed it, and you acted like it was dumb.
What did I say?
After you were just very dismissive.
Oh, no.
And now that we're talking about ghosts, I'm realizing it's because you are terrified.
Well, dude, what do you want to bring a ghost back with you? What if you then you got a ghost with you the rest of your life? Do they go away?
A companion? That sounds great. A friend? Cool. It sounds like you would never be late. I do the podcast, Cody and the Ghost.
Jerry again, just fucking around. And he put all my chairs down in the apartment for summer. They're all on the counter. I don't know why all the chairs end up on the counter. You ever see those videos of the people like go in their kitchen and all the fucking all the doors are open and all the chairs are all
so fucking dumb. It's like a ghost has that kind of power.
Actually, hear this. You've seen the movie Poltergeist, correct? Oh, bro.
With the little girl on the TV?
Yes.
I mean,
correct.
I don't think I've seen it, honestly, but I've seen
a
lot of
references.
references.
Sum up here. Poltergeist, family moves into a new neighborhood. Weird shit starts going on in the house. Things are moving around and all that stuff. And then obviously it gets super crazy with ghosts and the kid getting lost in the TV and all that. However, if you look up Poltergeist was based on a true story. The area in California where they're at, all those houses in that neighborhood had reported weird fucking shit of stuff moving around in their house that they couldn't explain. And it really was on top of an Indian burial ground, which they mentioned that in the movie. Like, they found out later it was an Indian burial ground or something. But that was all based on true story. And then they added all the extra shit about the kid getting sucked in the TV and stuff.
I'll combat this with another famous scary movie. You know Amityville Horror?
I have heard about that one.
Okay, so Amityville is I think it's the name of the street.
Oh.
And this house is real, and murders took place in this house. Okay.
Okay.
Usually the movies are about the family that moves in afterwards, and they experience a lot of stuff, and they move out. That was a real family that moved in, experienced scary things, and then had to move out. Someone who lived on the Amityville street was friends with like my grandma or my mother later in life, and they said those people are liars.
Wow.
They said it's like
it's a hoax.
It's a expensive street to live on. These are big houses.
Yeah.
And these people were a young couple, and they were in over their head, and they couldn't pay their mortgage. And
so
they're coming up with this bullshit to get out.
It's a haunted house.
It's a haunted house. Yeah. Oh, you guys didn't tell us about the murders that took place in here, and now all this stuff's happening. We can't live here. So all I'm saying is anything that's based on a true story is based on somebody's story.
You think all these people in California got together and like, dude, these fucking houses. Hey, let's have a little neighborhood meeting here, guys.
Is Poltergeist involves more than one family?
The story of Poltergeist, like I said, like originally, it was the whole. It was like blocks and blocks of houses that had similar stories.
Interesting.
It wasn't just, but
because they're all on this burial ground.
Yeah, because they're all,
or they all have the same plumbing and they all have lead pipes and they're all sharing this shared hallucination.
I automatically think some sort of magnetic thing, like there's some sort of magnetic pull or something that's pulling like a metal object or something. That's what I don't know. There's probably there very well could be some sort of weird scientific explanation that why your fucking chair moved across the room for no reason. I don't know.
There was this town like I don't know, a few hundred years ago, and the entire town reported like lights in the sky and things like that. And it turns out like they somehow figured out, yeah, it's awful. They somehow figured out that it was a shared hallucination due to a mold spore that was in their grain.
Whoa.
That like conditions were right during this time and all their crops got infected by the same thing. And they all were like stoned or something.
Wow. That's a crazy story. We have to look that one up.
Yeah.
Have to look that one up.
All right. We've been going for a while. We had a lot to talk about.
I
mean,
know,
we were catching
I
up.
know.
We haven't seen each other in a month because of my sickness.
There's only one more story. Sorry, dog. I just threw my phone at her.
She's fine.
We got through all my stories. I had a lot to talk about though. Car was stolen, got it back.
Swimming for some reason.
I've been wanting to talk about the Facebook drama for a while now. I've been procrastinating on it. I could have brought it up every dang week about whatever bullshit was going on that week. This one happened to kick me off because like
actually, let's make that a segment on the podcast.
What Facebook bullshit of the week?
Yes, I love
like that.
What's stressing you out on Facebook this week?
That's good.
And whatever position you take, I'll try to take the opposite position. I'll try to be combative.
I'll try. I mean, the only problem with it is I'm trying not to be too political with our channel. And when we start talking about some of these little things, you're starting to like walk on glass a little bit. Like
here's what's weird,
or eggshells, walking eggshells.
I think the strangest part is someone's desire to change their gender is a political thing. It's so weird that like one side has totally in support and one side is totally against, and it's like
that doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make any sense. Like how do none of you have free thought and like think the opposite?
You're just trying to make a fight.
Yeah.
You want me to fight with you is all.
Yeah.
That's literally it. I'm not trying to get political here, and I don't want to. I for sure don't want to offend any of like the LGBTQ community or anybody, any kind of, I might offend a few people. I shouldn't say that. I don't want. I mean well. All right. I'm just trying to talk about issues.
You don't intend to offend.
We're trying to get over issues in the world. We don't know what's the next steps in this.
We're just two idiots talking shit. Yeah. That's what it boils down to.
We're a little salty.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
I think that's good.
Cut the feed.
Thanks, you guys. Please help us out. We don't have any kind of sponsors, so talk to us, comment on us, like us.
Comment on us. It's all over us.